What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to DSM Pre-Game Live Monday Night Football. Eagles in LA to take on the Chargers. 8-4 squads looking for a humongous win on national television in primetime. Scotty, I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. Guys, to my right, my faithful host, Scotty. You can find us on Twitter at DSM_media. Make sure to hit that follow button. And then, of course, make sure to check out the link tree in our bio. It will take you to every social media platform that we are on: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you are at. But if you want to be interactive throughout tonight's show or any of our live streams, make sure to check out the YouTube link in our bio. You can see it pulled up on the screen here. It's the best and only spot to get your thoughts, comments, and questions pulled up here with us. My man, happy Monday. Humongous get right, get back spot for the Birds tonight. Will they get the job done? We got a lot to get into, but happy Monday and good talking to you, brother.
Happy Monday, brother. Yes, you hit the nail on the head by saying this is a humongous game for so many reasons, right? Not just the 8-4 records. Obviously, that should be the headline, the talking point for this game. 2 8-4 playoff contenders coming into this matchup. But it's not, man. The Eagles have lost 2 in a row. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. There's an expectation that comes with that. There's an expectation that comes with chasing another Super Bowl championship. And the last few weeks, they just simply aren't hitting that expectation, right? And it's been bothersome. It's been bothersome not just because of the losing. I think if the offense was operating on full steam against Chicago and we just end up losing in a shootout, I think we would be disappointed in our defense for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that the offense would have maybe solved some issues would have gave us a little bit of grace. And I honestly wouldn't, be feeling so, I hate to use the term grim right now, but this game, to your point, is just kind of a big decider. It's like the gauge for me right now, because the need for win for the Eagles right now is at like maximum, like 10 plus, like over 100 on the 100 scale. Like they need a W. And in the past, man, when we've been in these situations, and even last week going into Chicago, you think this way, right? When this team needs a W, we have to believe that they have the talent to figure out how to get it. Right. Yeah. And I think that's where we hit a crossroad tonight, because if you can't go out here and get a W against a hampered Justin Herbert led offense, then I'm going to have some serious doubt and belief in us, really getting, not fixing these issues 120%, but at least getting to a point where you can have some success and some consistency come postseason. So, yeah, that was a lot. I got that all out at the beginning, man. It's a huge game. It's a huge game.
That's the entire point, right, man? Because this is a playoff team. This is going to be a playoff team. They are indeed going to win the NFC East. It's all but almost a done thing for us, right? Absolutely. The question isn't, are the Eagles good enough to get into the playoffs? The question really isn't, are the Eagles good enough to win a playoff game? What we're looking for tonight is an opportunity to switch that gear back from being a playoff team to the playoff team, to being the top dog in the NFC, being one of the top teams in the National Football League. And that's just something this offense has not been able to show us really for basically all season, but more importantly, the last 4 to 5 weeks, right? Even in those big time wins in Lambeau against Detroit on that windy night when you were down there at the link, this offense was not in any way, shape, or form the reason that football team won on either of those occasions. And it's a rare occasion tonight where, yes, the only thing that matters is a win. If they do come away and win this game 10-9 tonight, you will hear us tomorrow or on Wednesday show breaking it down and talking about how the Eagles are 9-4 and it's a good win. However, it's not going to restore a whole lot of confidence, if any, that this team is back to being that juggernaut that we saw last year. This is a humongous, I can't say that word enough, spot for this team, but more importantly, man, for this offense tonight. So let's start here.
Yeah.
Reported earlier on in the week, he said it to Jason Kelsey about an hour ago on ESPN in an interview. Nick Sirianni more involved in the Eagles offense this week, man. What are your thoughts on just that overall comment, that sentiment that the head coach is now putting himself in there versus also the battle of, haven't we already kind of thought this is Nick's mold, right? Like this is Nick's kind of offense. So if we don't see a difference tonight, the head coach, that guy has come out publicly and interjected himself to try to solve this issue. If they look no different, where do we go from there?
Yeah. No, it's a great point you bring up, man. And coming into this game, I think it's a good way for Nick Sirianni definitely to hold himself accountable and kind of save face for Kevin Patullo and keep, the rocks or the eggs from getting thrown at Kevin Patullo's house. But to your point, if it comes out, it looks the same, then we're going to have some major issues. I will say this, the fact that he's putting his name on the line, if he is calling plays tonight, if that is the case, I just hope that he learns something from Kellen Moore and from Shane Steichen and all these different, minds that he's been working with since he got here to Philadelphia and before, right? Like you just hope that he's learned from the mistakes of the past and can be better at calling plays. But I'll have to be honest, man, it doesn't give me a ton of, it doesn't give me a ton of confidence, like, that Nick Sirianni is going to go out here and change the dynamic. I think it will still come down to these players locking in, discipline, lack of, cutting back on the penalties, and ultimately locking in the missed assignments. We saw, Jordan Mailata tripping over his own feet or running into his own players last week. That stuff can't happen. You cut that stuff, who knows? You might win that Bears game alone without the conversation around the play calling. But I do think it'll be interesting to pay attention to. If the game is called differently or if it looks maybe better, I think we have to give Sirianni a little bit of credit there. So we'll see.
Yeah, and the reason, man, that I started the show by saying how huge of a spot this is tonight and leading with that topic alone is because it kind of feels like a breaking point. It feels do or die-ish in the sense that it's public knowledge now, like that they're acknowledging what the fans and the media have been saying and seeing and everything the last couple of weeks, all season long, that there's something that has to be tweaked. Something has to get figured out within this offense.
Yeah.
And either you're going to rise above it and you're going to figure something out tonight and you're going to see a different side of this team we haven't seen in months, or we're still where we're at and it's kind of that breaking point, that boiling point. So while it's exciting, it's a little nerve-wracking for me as a fan, man, because I have so much confidence and faith in this team throughout the year. And we can kind of answer some questions tonight, I think, because if they come out and don't change anything and God forbid lose this football game, it'd be 3 in a row at this point.
Yeah.
Then at what point do we start to believe, what's in front of you? How many times can we say, well, they have it in them? Like what we saw in they won the Super Bowl last year.
Right. You can't live on that
anymore. Right. You can't fall back on that anymore. So big spot.
It is, man.
Going, Scotty, keys to victory tonight. Let's start offensively because obviously that's the big issue. What are you looking for or expecting at this point for the Birds to do on that side of the ball tonight?
Yeah, man, the big word that I wrote down tonight was balance. Offensively, it all comes down to balance. Balancing the run and the pass, right? Like the play calling. We understand that. Balancing the I formation versus shotgun formation, right? We can't just sit in I formation. We can't sit in one or the other all night, knowing when to go into each, right? And not becoming predictable. Balance the target share. It doesn't have to be spam AJ all night. You can spread the ball around, get everybody involved in the offense when it comes to passing the ball around. And then, the last thing I'll say, man, and I think this is probably the biggest one. It's going to be the one from the jump. We're going to have some answers, right? Because it comes down to balancing success across the entire game, which we have just simply not seen this entire season. So just give me what is the parameter of success for this offense right now? Like, is it like give me 2 first downs per quarter? Because they go quarters without first downs. They go quarters 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So, what is the parameter for success that we're talking about here? But yeah, I just want to see it done for 4 consistent quarters. I want to see us go out there with a plan and identity, and do it consistently, man. So yeah, that's my biggest thing, balance.
Something they've seemed to be lacking all year is that identity, right? And it's funny because what I'm gathering from your first key in balance and kind of fundamentals and everything that goes into that is the word simple. Like, that's what comes to mind. Like, it's pretty simple that you balance the run and the pass, and you don't come out and throw the ball in the first 5 plays and then punt, and then next drive run it 3 straight times and then punt. It's pretty simple that, like you said, you don't come out and make it a point that you're only targeting A.J. Brown on the first 3 plays and go away from him for 2.5 quarters. That all seems pretty simple, but I'm going to flip the script on you here, man.
Yeah,
my first key has to do with some creativity, excuse me.
Okay.
Because you sent me a tweet that was quote tweeted by Johnny Page 9 on Twitter over the weekend.
Yeah.
Highest rate of hitch routes run by all NFL players with 240 or more routes run this season. That's 102 guys that have that number of routes run this season. 4 of the top 16 are from your own Philadelphia Eagles. The top 3 in the league are Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas Goedert runs a hitch route 36% of the time. Jahan Dotson runs a hitch route 32% of the time. Smitty comes in at number 3, just under 30% of the time. And A.J. Brown runs a hitch route 16th in the league, about 25% of his routes ran.
A quarter of his routes.
Is simple. That is not creative. That is boring. That is stale. That is predictable. We are 12 games into an NFL season. We are 13 weeks through an NFL season. If those numbers are available for you and I to discuss with a microphone, what do you think defensive coordinators and coaches and players in those team meetings know all week long when they're about to face up against the Philadelphia Eagles? That has to change. And that's why I started with the Sirianni being involved point tonight, because this is a make or break spot. If we do not see a different offense, at least somewhat of a different offense, then I have a problem with it, man. So I don't know how in 8 days or in 10 days at this point, since we played on Black Friday, I don't know how in that time period you can kind of come in and basically do a 180 and change the way that your offensive philosophy is ran, but something has to change. Those numbers cannot be shown tonight, Scotty. So be a little creative offensively, man.
Yeah, no, it's looked all season, man. And I know it's what makes it hard to gauge this team is that you have these self errors mixed in as well. It's what creates a bad team ultimately, but we've been able to win games. Like, it's what it comes down to, right? But you add in these little, discipline type of errors where AJ Brown is, false starting, has like 6 false starts this year or some shit for a wide receiver, right? Like, that type of shit from a captain can't happen. And it's happening across the board. The offensive line is doing the same stuff. So when it comes down to it, man, you just wonder if they have the like you almost want to believe that they have training wheels on the offense or something. Like, they don't want to show too much because you just can't believe that these offensive minds could be so simple. And to your point, no, it kind of goes with what I'm saying, because I know what you mean in reverse,
right?
But in reverse of what they've been doing, they would just balance it out. They would run the ball when you don't expect them to, and they would pass it when you don't expect. You know what I mean? Like, if they just would balance things out. But no, they'll spam 2 consecutive drives or 3 consecutive drives of 3 straight passes. And then the next 3 will be, two runs to start, regardless of if it gets you yards on the first carry or not. Right. And it just can't operate like that. It's why we are, to your point, so predictable, man. But it takes me to the next key to victory. It all falls in line with everything we talked about. It's the offensive line, man. Just step up. Like, the guys are here, like most of them, right? Like, Mekhi Becton is gone. He's going to be on the other side tonight. Tyler Steen, whatever. If he's not living up to the Mekhi Becton, what he did last year, that's fine. But Cam Jurgens has not played well. Landon Dickerson has not played well. Jordan Mailata has not played well. So I need those guys to just step up and play better tonight. It's what we've already harped on, mistake-free football. If they can just do that alone, that's going to save us a lot of the time. Because we have seen some plays mixed in here, and they've gotten called back for offensive pass interference or, whatever the case may be. We got to work on being disciplined, man. But I really want to see this offensive line step up. The Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders, they gave up 31 yards rushing, 1.7 yards per carry. So they shut the Raiders' rushing offense down. They had 5 sacks. Tuli Tuipulotu had 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. They were wreaking havoc on the Raiders, right? We know what the Raiders are, though. The Eagles' offensive line can't come out and allow that type of success tonight, right? I'm not saying that the Chargers' defense is this record-breaking defense, right? They do rank pretty highly when it comes down to statistics. They do, right? That is their calling card when you really look at the numbers. But they aren't this shut-down type of defense. You come out here and you have a performance like the Raiders and you let pressure get on Jalen. You have pressure in Jalen's face all night. You can't get Saquon out of the backfield. It's gonna be just really eye-opening. So I really need the offensive line to step up for us and just look like something close to what we have always believed they are. Man.
I agree with you. It's time to put up or shut up, right? Because don't get me wrong, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I truly don't. But I've heard Jordan Mailata week after week after week sound a little frustrated when speaking to the media and being asked certain questions after down performances, but still taking accountability, right? Like deflecting blame from the coaches, but saying, we have to be better. We have to be better. Nick comes out tonight, like I mentioned, and, about an hour ago and was talking about how it was a great week of practice and they're excited and, just getting back to the fundamentals and doing the little things, right? Well, guess what? If you come out tonight and to your point, you have drive halting first starts, or you're tripping over your own 2 feet, or there's a missed block, or AJ's giving up on a route, just all these self-inflicted things. Well, apparently the message didn't resonate over the course of the practice week. Yeah. And at that point in time, Scotty, come tomorrow morning, if those things continue to get in their own way, I'm going to be overhearing from the leaders on this team, like a Jordan Mailata, like a Cam Jurgens, like a whoever else, talking about how we just have to be better. We had to be better. Be better.
Just do it.
Point blank, period. It's still a 1 week thing. It's not a 3-week thing. It's going to be a 10+ week thing at this point. Just be better. Put up or shut up tonight, man. So 1000% agree with you. Jalen, obviously, this doesn't have to be said as a key to victory because it's been their calling card all year, but obviously didn't have a great game from that standpoint last week. You have to take care of the ball. If you are going to be boring tonight, you can't turn the football over. And that's why they've been able to win games even when they don't look good on offense, because they are winning that battle and they're not putting their defense in too much of harm's way. In reality, they are when they're like 29th on third down conversion, whatever. But yeah, man, it's very simple when it comes to me for the offense. Defensively, let's flip the side of the ball, right? Because they were far from perfect last week. And you cannot get gashed like that on the run. No Jalen Carter tonight, obviously beat up in the secondary at safety. Marcus Epps activated and is going to be expected to play and be getting snaps tonight. If not him, Sidney Brown, and we're back to all that mess. So defensively, man, I'm looking at 2 things here, right? A, you have to be able to stop the run. And to me, that's just about being physical. That's just about they looked soft. You texted me that in the first quarter, the way that DeAndre Swift and Manungai were just ripping them apart.
Punching us in the mouth.
It just looked weak. It looked soft. So you have to come out and respond from that standpoint. But then secondly, get to the man with the broken hand, brother. Like that offense, with or without Justin Herbert, that offensive line, is beat up. Both their tackles. Get to Justin Herbert tonight and slow down the run. And I think this defense will have plenty of success. I think the total sitting at 42.5 for a reason. Vegas is expecting a lower scoring game. And the way that the Eagles do that and accomplish a win is by getting to Justin Herbert tonight.
We appreciate you. Yeah. That's Warren. Hey, he's a Rams fan. We appreciate the love, though. Because he wants to meet us in the promised land. That's what it comes down to. Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Warrens. But no, I completely agree on the defense, man. It starts with stopping the run. You think about what the Chargers would do coming into this game against an Eagles offense that has been struggling. The Chargers, once again, statistically, they're a pretty highly ranked defense when it comes to statistics. That's not including schedule, strength of schedule, so on and so forth, right? But nonetheless, they're a sturdy defense. You come into this game, they're going to try to have a similar game plan to what we've seen from ourselves in the past, I believe, and that's not turning the ball over, not making Justin Herbert kind of step out of his element with the injured hand, and they're going to try to run the football, especially after what they saw Chicago do, to your point last week. They're going to think that's the way to beat this team tonight. We're at home. Let's not turn the ball over. Let's run the football. We'll have sturdy defense. Maybe we can turn them over. They're in disarray right now. And so to your point, yeah, you got to stop the run, and we need to force Justin Herbert to throw. And I think to that point, man, as I'm thinking through this, because I do agree, it is on the defense to stop the run. It's on that offense, once again, to put some fucking points on the board early so that the Chargers can't sit back and run the clock out.
And at the very least, this sounds like a cop-out, but at the very least, pick up a few first downs on
put some pressure.
70% of your drives, right? Like the third down rate and the 3-and-out rate that they hold. That's we don't turn the ball over a lot. You're putting your defense back on the field every 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're tired. Exactly. Hopefully the long week helped them get some rest. Maybe they're feeling better, man. I'm hoping this defense is rejuvenated today, because last Friday, they looked tired, man. They did look soft, and they got punched in the mouth, but they looked worn out because the previous 2 weeks they went against other NFC North juggernauts in the Dallas. Yeah, so the offense needs to help the defense out, man. Simply put.
I agree, bro. I think that's the frustrating thing, right? We come on here and we can talk about all these different points and what needs to happen. The bottom line is that this team still has more talents in their locker room than anybody else. I will take this Eagles team over anybody else. That's the frustrating point. When we sit here, you and I, who, didn't grow up in coaching trees, and the most plays we've called are on fucking Madden, right? Like, it's not rocket science, man. And people, it's frustrating, Scotty. All the focus gets put on the quarterback, right? And rightfully so. It's football. I understand that.
Yeah.
But how many conversations do people, whether they like Jalen Hurts and support him or they're haters, how many conversations be had where people look at this Eagles roster and they say, well, if they had this quarterback, or they had this quarterback, or well, they had this quarterback, they'd be unstoppable, or they'd be they'd win a Super Bowl, and they'd do blah, 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 blah. That's how I feel when it comes to the play calling and the offensive coordinator. Because I look around the league and I see what other OCs can do with Jacoby Brissett at the helm, or just two wide receivers like Mac Hollins and Hunter Henry and Booty. Like, I'm looking around the league at all these guys and I'm saying, well, if we had him, this offense would be averaging 32 a night.
Ben Johnson.
That's my point, man. It is on the players to be better. They have to perform better. We both agree there. But I continuously go back to last year, and I go back to 22 with all these same common pieces, and then what went wrong in 23 and what's looking wrong right now. And I just can't help but feel like it's the same common denominator, and that's what's frustrating. Like, if I just had this guy calling plays, like I'm watching someone with Joe Flacco, man. Joe Flacco, and I get it. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, great. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
Who's the offensive coordinator there? Like, can we even name him?
No, I mean, I'm assuming Zach Taylor's the play caller in Cincinnati.
Is he? I get. Yeah, if he's maintained his job that long, I imagine he has to be, because the offense has always looked pretty solid. So maybe it is Zach Taylor calling the plays there. I'm not 100% sure, but
No,
Yeah,
but, like,
it makes zero
that's where my
sense.
mind just continues to go, man,
Yeah,
and then you see the film breakdowns of the simplicity of the routes, and we get the hitch route numbers, and it's like, see, I'm not crazy. Like, what I'm feeling like I'm watching
yeah,
is what I'm getting. It's
yeah,
simple, it's boring, it's basic,
yeah,
it's vanilla, and if I just had someone that deserved the damn job, let's just call it what it is,
yeah.
then I would, we'd be in a much different spot.
But
And
man,
that's why this game is so big, because if Nick is truly inserted himself back in, maybe all right. Like, I don't know. Like, do we see Nick with a play sheet in front of his face tonight with a
I don't
headset
know.
on?
I don't
Do,
know.
do they kind of humiliate Kevin Patullo in that sense? Like, but Dan Campbell did it a few weeks ago. Dan Campbell took
He
over play
did.
calling as a head
He
coach.
did. He had to.
So,
I don't know, man. It's so interesting because I was sitting here thinking as you're talking, Kellen Moore, what a dumbass. You leave this situation to go coach a 3-10 Saints team down there. Like, have fun with that. But man, we would obviously love to have our Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator back, of course, to be our play caller. But I do just remember last year, man, saying, like, take the damn training wheels off the offense, brother. Like, I just remember saying it all the time. And it's just I'm saying all the time with Nick Sirianni as the head coach. I've been saying the same things every season. And I get it. We won the Super Bowl. He has success. I don't know. There's a ton of talent. It's just so hard. It's so hard to measure everything in his value. It's hard to measure Nick Sirianni's value when you have the same complaints every single year about the offense, man. And the outlier last year was that the offensive line obviously played well, but Saquon Barkley had just a fucking historic season. That's the
historic.
Like, I don't know, man. It is getting to that point. I hope that's what we were talking about here, this breaking point in the season. This is it. Because this is not an LA crowd you're going into that is going to just be rocking the stadium all night, making things hard for you. The Eagles fans are going to take over, if anything.
Yeah.
So
you might be you might be hearing from Joe Buck and Troy Aikman how Herbert and this offense have had to use a silent count all week, and have to go to it tonight. So you're not going into hostile territory tonight. I refuse to acknowledge him. I only acknowledge D-Rab. I acknowledge my brother D-Rab.
Go Birds, brother. Definitely. Oh man, how are we feeling? Let's get to predictions, bro.
Yeah, what do we got? 15 minutes, 20 minutes till kickoff.
Yeah, we have dwindled it down, haven't we?
I don't know, man. I woke up this morning with the mindset that they can't lose this game and they're not going to lose this game. And I don't think they're going. I don't believe they're going to.
Right.
I'm just having trouble, and what I laid betting wise. You laid the same thing. So with that mindset, I would be hoping that they kind of figure this thing out offensively. Yeah. I just can't come out in good faith and tell you that I can't stamp that. There's nothing out there over the last month or plus for me to say they have figured it out.
Yeah.
So with that said, give me the Eagles in not a perfect game, not a complete 180, not this come to light kind of moment here, but give me the Eagles 24-16, 24-17 tonight, somewhere in that ballpark. I think the defense steps up. I do think they cause Herbert some issues tonight. I think the offense does enough. I think they put enough drives together. They show flashes that we want to see. They don't come out perfect. They don't come out slinging it, firing it. Saquon goes for 200.
They're not scoring 30 tonight, right? Like that's not happening. But
I think anywhere from 23-24 is what I see the Eagles at, and I think they keep LA under 20.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I have here as well, man. I have Eagles 24. I have Chargers 13. We'll see what Justin Herbert's on. That number could vary from 13, obviously.
Be nice.
Pumper says he looks ready. We'll see. You don't know if he's ready until he gets hit in that broken fractured
Pumper's
hand.
seen
right?
one clip of him in shorts and a t-shirt on ESPN tonight with the ball in his hand. And he looks ready, guys.
You got to hit him. You hit him early, and you'll shake him up for sure. And we know that Justin Herbert does have a meltdown mode as well. We've seen it before, so you just got to bring it out of him. I went with 24-13 because I do think that hand is going to impact them. I do believe in the Eagles' defense stopping the run tonight because I think the Chargers are going to do it in a very blatant way in the way they run their offense tonight. I don't think things are going to be disguised for the Chargers tonight. I don't think you can with a quarterback with a broken hand. So I think they're going to be very straightforward in their approach. I think the defense steps up, stops the run, and we see a little bit of that sloppy Chargers offense with Justin Herbert hampered a bit. And, like you said, I just hope the offense can make enough plays because, I do have faith in the Eagles defense holding the Chargers under 17. I have faith in that. I really do. It comes down to the Eagles offense. Yeah. Are you going to be able to put up 20, 21, 23, 24 points tonight?
Better, man.
Which is just not a lot for the talent.
They come out tonight and win this game 17-10, anything like that. Look, if they're 9-4, they're going to be in the playoffs. We know this. They're going to win the division. It's a win. It's a good win. Like, it's in LA, prime time against an 8-4 team. It's just not going to change everyone's overall.
You're not feeling better. Yeah.
What I will say, and I'll acknowledge you here, the specimen has only about 300 more passing yards on over 54 more attempts than the guy you hate. The specimen only has 2 more passing touchdowns than the guy you say cannot throw the football. The specimen has thrown 8 more interceptions than the guy you hate. And the specimen has basically a 10 less quarterback rating this season than the guy you hate. But you are knowledgeable, my friend. You like the right guys. You hate the right guys. You are very, very ball knowledgeable. Yeah, that's the specimen. That the guy that throws 4 interceptions in a playoff game. Yeah, that's the guy I want on the football field tonight. Look, no one's saying Justin Herbert is not uber talented. It just doesn't matter. You can have the ball spinner, brother. I'll take the guy that wins football games and wins football games in the biggest moments, which you will see tonight. I'll take the guy that's going to beat Justin Herbert tonight, that beats Josh Allen, that beats Joe Burrow, that beats Patrick Mahomes, that beats Lamar Jackson, that beats Matthew Stafford, that beats Jordan Love, that beats Jared Goff. I'll take that guy on my football team tonight. I don't need to continue. We'll be talking to you Wednesday. We will be here Wednesday. They lose. He looks bad. Come in, talk your shit. They win. He looks good. I better see you in the comments, man. That's all I'm going to say. Eagles win. Offense looks better, not perfect. Defense gets the job done again. And we will talk to you guys on Wednesday. As always, make sure to follow and subscribe. We're almost at 200 subscribers. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Go Birds and peace out.
Go Birds. Let's fucking get it.